My name is Joseph Saldana, and I know what it takes to make it in real estate. I had 2 mortgage companies till the market crashed and I lost it all. But I didn't lay down and give up. I got back on my feet, got my real estate license, and built my business, Next Home, from the ground up. But I didn't do it alone, and now my daughter Gabby is working her way up the family business.
This is the Like Father, Like Daughter podcast.
Hey guys, this is Joseph Saldana, and I'm here to proudly announce my podcast with my co-host and my first guest, my daughter Gabriella. This is the Like Father,
Like Daughter podcast.
How you doing, Gab?
Good.
Good?
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm here with you, my best bud, my right hand.
Yes.
I don't think that I would be here right now if it wasn't because of you. You have added an element to the business that every day makes me proud.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. You had a great first year,
Yeah.
as a real estate agent. Let's talk
Closed
about
a
that.
lot of deals.
Yeah, you did. Did you expect it to be the way it was?
No, not at all.
No? What was the biggest thing you were like, what the fuck?
I guess just all of it just kind of snowballing because the average realtor, their first year is 2 deals.
It's 2 to 3 deals, yeah.
It took me about 6 months actually to start making money. I started in January of 2021.
Okay.
And then my first deal didn't close till June. So I really only had 6 more months to work with. And in those 6 months, I closed 12 deals.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like I either grind and like do this as a full-time career, or I could do this as a side hustle. But just the way it fell into my lap, it was just, this is what I'm going to do now.
So you made that decision. This is your career.
Yeah.
This is what you want to do. That's great news for me.
For sure. For the family, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, you heard me on the phone all these years, right? You probably didn't realize it was all soaking in.
Yeah. I mean, I would listen, but I wouldn't actually, like, understand it.
Yeah.
It's not like you were going into an office working 9 to 5, and then you come home and it's like you don't talk about your job. Like, you're working, whether we're driving somewhere, you're on the phone, we're eating dinner, you're on the phone. Like, it was something that you couldn't turn off. But now, like, I understand it fully because that's me now. I'm literally up until like 12 still looking up properties for the next morning to do showing. So it doesn't shut off, but it's worth it in the end.
It is. What's the most, what is the one thing that really gives you pride in what you do and happiness and,
I guess, like, at the end, like, I get very overwhelmed in the process, but then in the end, when they finally, like, get the keys and they get that house, like, they're just so happy, the clients.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy because I'm the one that,
You
showed them the house. I went through the whole process with them. I was there for them, like, early in the morning, late at night, when they're, like, doubtful, like, all of that. I'm the one that has to be there for them, making sure that they're okay, and they're going to find the house, and I'm going to find it for them. It's just when. And sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it's the first showing. You never know how it's going to happen. Yeah. But I'm the one that has to be their support, really, and just having them rely on me to make sure everything's going to be smooth through the whole process.
And that's important because that's a big part of it. Do you feel like a psychiatrist sometimes?
Yeah.
Therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of have to get them from, like, one of the things I tell you after they lose the accepted offer, make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially if it happens one after another. They get, and I don't want them to be discouraged where they're like, maybe we should just walk away and, like, take a break, because that's never good either. Taking a break is just going to hurt them in a few months when they try again, because
Correct.
It's just going to delay everything. The market changes all the time, especially right now. It's so unpredictable. So there's no point of waiting.
It's a tough time now to be a new agent. You know how the market is low inventory, the demand is super high,
Right.
rates are starting to climb. So what are you, a new agent that's looking at this now, listening to you, what are a couple of things that you highly recommend that they do right from the beginning?
I would say definitely start, if you have any kind of interest at all, just start the course because it takes 75 hours, but realistically, you're not finishing it for probably 3 months. By the time you find the right broker, it's going to be another month. Pass the test, like all of that. It's really going to take you probably 6 months if you're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And then that's another 6 months to make money. So, like, say you're thinking about real estate, you have to think like a year in advance. If you want to start making money, you're not just gonna start the course and then make money, you know?
Sure.
Also, like, just going out there, you're not learning anything through the course. Like, you are, but nothing. I can't say I remember this from the course and then I've used it in real life.
Yeah.
I've learned stuff from going on showings with you and just like phone calls, experiences. That's what these agents really need to, I think, grasp more. Like, they see on social media that real estate is like all fun and games, which it is, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. It's very free, but you need to like take it seriously if you're going to make money, and make sure you're in the right brokerage. Also, you need to have a good mentor. Like, I was lucky enough to have you because that was like an automatic like in to have you as my dad, but also you're a good teacher as well, you know? Like, that's not that's not always easy to find for people.
No.
And if you don't have a broker that's easy to access or just answer questions a phone call away, they could easily just not have any deals done because they don't have the good education that they need, you know?
And the experience.
Yeah, the experience. That's what you really need.
Absolutely.
Working with clients, like the right way to be with clients, right attitude, right behavior, all of that.
Yeah, that's very important. And I see it on the side of when I get calls from other agents, newer agents, you kind of, certain things they should know already.
Yeah.
You know, they should really know, but you can tell that they're not getting that attention in that office or within that team or whatever it is. So it's important that they do have a good mentor or team leader, you know, something like that. That's super important, especially today.
Yeah.
You know, because if not, you kind of just thrown out there and sink or swim. And that's why a lot of agents sink, because they don't have that mentorship.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think I should do better? What do you think I should, do I do too much or something, too little or something as a broker?
Maybe, well, it's hard to differentiate like the dad role and the broker role, because there's things that bother me that you do, but it's like you're my dad, so obviously it's gonna bother.
But if I was just your broker, it wouldn't bother you? It would be okay?
Maybe.
So I'm perfect then?
No.
Oh, I'm not perfect.
Maybe just a little more patience.
Patience? I have patience of an angel.
No. Well, not with me.
Probably because I expect.
Maybe just with me.
I expect a lot from you.
Yeah.
I do.
But I think I deliver it for the most part.
You do. You definitely hit it out of the park.
I mean, I have a good work ethic. Like, I've been working since I'm like 15, so I've had experiences.
That's important, yeah. The work
And
ethic.
then I was working for you as like an assistant kind of thing. So I slowly got to where I am.
Yes.
I think that helped a lot too.
It's important. You need to have that background of what work really is.
Yeah.
You know, and that's in anything, you know, because you got to be prepared to put the work in, whatever it is. I mean, we're not lifting bricks up, but you still need good work ethic. Like you say, you're up to 12, sometimes later, up early. Our time is flexible, but we also have to give enough time to our clients and to our pipeline and to build our business.
Definitely.
And even as individuals, agents individually, they have to put in that time to build it, to build their pipeline. You know, if you have 10 contracts out, you're closing 3 at a time. That's just the way it works, because everything's in different phases. So you want to constantly, if you want to do 30, 40, 50 deals a year, you got to have 10, 15 contracts going at the same time, always. So that, because you're always going to close a third of that.
Right.
So that's what we, you know, that's what we're always looking at, you know, that vision.
What are like your goals for our team? Because we're growing our team. This year we're going to have a lot more agents than last year.
Yes. I don't want a lot more. I want quality over quantity, because I want my agents to all be successful.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure they have enough time that I give them, enough training, enough on the job, enough business, so that I want to do more with less. So if one team has 20 agents, I want to be able to do the same thing they're doing with 10 or less.
Yeah.
But my goal,
That's a good number.
yeah, my goal is 100 transactions for the team, and overall company 200. So that's the goal this year. And I'm excited about it. I am. I'm really excited about where we are, where we're going.
We're finally doing social media stuff, getting exposure.
Yes.
This is the part that I've been wanting to do the most, because I think that I'll be able to take our content and just, because with my generation, that's how they're going to find me, social media,
Correct.
And with you too. Everyone.
Well, yeah,
Also.
Millennials and Gen X are those two generations are moving the market. They're the buyers, they're the sellers.
Yeah.
Even the seniors that are selling their homes, their children are helping them, and their Gen Xers, their Millennials that are helping them sell their homes.
Yeah.
So Gen X, Millennials, that's what's moving the market. And you have to be able to communicate with them and be on the same level with them. And they search, especially the Millennials, they search for you on social media.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where it is, and that's where that's just where technology has taken us. And even the real estate business, technology has changed it. So now more than ever, even though you have the technology part where you can take your phone and communicate with someone, you still need to have that personal relationship with them as well.
Yeah, 100%.
It needs to be a marriage of both.
You need to be the same person that you are in face to face or over social media.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of good that we started it like our second year we're doing all of this, because I got the exposure and I got my deals done that I did in my first year. So it's not just like I got one deal done, now let me just go all over social media pretending that I'm like this realtor that knows everything. I think that now that I have a good foundation, it's going to be easier for me to create content, talk about my experiences.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's true, 100%. You got the experience out of the way, you got your first year out of the way. Now you can keep doing that, double, triple that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can incorporate the social media where you can put out there your information, what you learn, what's going on. And there's always, when it comes to real estate, there's always something new.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I mean, I've been doing it, for now over 20 years, mortgage and real estate. And there's still new shit that happens. Yeah. That you just kind of like, wow.
And you've been doing it for so long, and now this is like going to be your first real social media kind of with the podcast.
Absolutely. This is the podcast that we've been talking about, that we're gonna put out there and do together.
Yeah.
We got some great guests coming.
Yeah.
Really good guests. Yeah. We're gonna keep it interesting. We're gonna keep it knowledgeable. We're gonna talk about everything about real estate and everything else that comes along with that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching our podcast. Greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to send them in, real estate related or not. We have great guests coming on, but if you would like to see someone on this podcast, please feel free to send it in.
Thanks for tuning in to Like Father, Like Daughter. We'll see you next time.